This is a new channel, Benfica After 90. After every game, Alex, Mario.
I'm Mr. Mello on Twitter. If you don't know me, you should know me.
We are going to just come out, balls blazing, guns blazing, emotions out, what we feel about the game.
I want my Benfica After 90.
Is Seferovic dating like Rui Vittoria's like sister or something?
I don't know, but that's a perfect way to start the show because we're live.
All right, fuck it, it's live.
We in, baby!
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Benfica After 90, not live edition, because we're fancy up over here. I've got with me your regular Alex, Mr. Mello.
What's going on, everybody? Nice to be back.
Yeah, and we got obviously Mario's wife. If you guys didn't know, Cintia.
Hi.
And she's obviously very nervous today. She's just in a room filled of good-looking men. I get it. It happens. Honestly, it's fine.
I don't even know where to look.
Wow, that's a diss. What the fuck?
If the room is full of good-looking men, where do I look?
They're all ugly.
I got all the
yeah.
pretty scarves too. I gotta look around, right?
Yeah, we're back here, another edition of the Benfica After 90 Benfiquistas Worldwide. We haven't done one in a while, but here we are doing another episode for the people. This is what the people want. We're giving what the people want. We haven't been live together in a while. The international break has killed us a little bit, and some of us been doing some vacation. Work's been taking up time, so we apologize for that. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into it. We're here, Benfiquistas Worldwide, with Cintia. Cintia, I'm going to ask you the question that everyone gets asked no matter what, and it is, you're a Benfiquista. How did you become a Benfiquista?
I was born into a Benfica family. Really.
Yeah, I feel you.
For reals. My mom's the youngest of six. We used to watch Benfica all the time. My tio, he used to play in Luxembourg when I was probably not even born. Mm-hmm. And then once I was born is we're going to say mid-80s. It's not early 80s, not late 80s.
We're not giving numbers out here. We're just going to give you general time frame.
A long time ago. Right before color photos. No, I don't know.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so Tio used to play out in another country. Then he came back. And then when they were in Canada, he played in the Supersonics, which is a Cambridge team. And so during the week, for whatever reason, my mom would lug us into the van, myself and my sisters, and we'd get stuck at this Portuguese club for hours. And so we'd have to have our homework because obviously if we're here for hours, get your homework, we're going to have to be fun for dinner.
Oh, yes.
Watch the games. Yeah. And then just be in a room full of like old Portuguese men smoking. So great. Yeah. If I get secondhand lung cancer, we know why.
It was from the younger days. It was the younger days.
Jesus Murphy. Like, oh my goodness. So growing up watching footy all the time, whether it was Tio playing or on the weekends, she used to watch Chelsea. We'd watch a lot of EPL. And so I'm saying like, the 90s Chelsea, she's not a plastic bandwagon fan, although she could be, who knows?
Yeah.
And seems to be before their time, but whatever. So I got to watch a lot of EPL on Saturday mornings. And then, I meet a boy in high school. And he's what we call Dwint. And then and it fueled it.
Terminology.
Oh, for sure. And it fueled it for sure. Like when we had Rui, we did our meet our baby trip to Portugal, and we were like, "Oh, tia, olha, I had a bebê," right? Isto é o meu Mario, isto é o meu Rui. So
oh God,
that's what I say, because everyone's like, "Oh, o teu marido." I'm like, "No, o meu Mario. This is my Mario." Like,
Fred, this is Fred.
And then o meu Rui, and then that's when we became socios, all three of us together. And that's actually when we got the block on.
The block, which I saw was there not too long ago. Very nice.
Everybody visits us, which is fantastic. It's lovely. So
I felt like I was just there with you guys. It was awesome.
Exactly.
No, it's cool. It was a neat feature. I like what Benfica did. I hope they do more because they have a lot of space to continue that.
And that's what we were under the impression when they told us about it.
Mhm.
And I mean, if you look around, there's tons of space around. So I'm hoping they do the whole thing. Yeah. Because we need a second one. We have a baby, Eva, now, not just Rui.
Oh, for sure.
Sorry, Eva. But no, definitely the family, and then obviously Mario.
Of course.
So, growing up in these smoke-filled Portuguese rooms, filled
Which we all did.
smoke,
Yes.
right. Who was Cynthia's favorite player? Who did you grow up in these rooms, in these meetings, in these get-togethers?
Want to guess?
Who was your guy?
One guess, boys. 21. It had to be Nuno Gomes. Oh my God.
Honestly, he
I
is like
love
every
him.
fucking just
I love
everyone's favorite player. I swear.
And then Mario has the audacity to fight with me a couple of times as he started getting older and he started becoming a super sub. I'd be like, oh my God, Mario, we need Nuno Gomes right now. He'd score. He's not even that good anymore, Cintia. He'd come on and he'd score.
Right.
Come on, he's not that good anymore.
Got nothing to say. Mario, you were wrong. You heard it. You were wrong.
Super sub.
That kind of makes me laugh because at the end of, and I'm gonna get shit for this, but at the end of Cardozo's career, that's what JJ turned him into, was a super sub. Except that when Cardozo came on as a super sub, he didn't score goals anymore.
Cardozo couldn't run. He never could. Yo, he's actually tearing it now, though, eh?
Yeah, because
it's also Paraguay, but I mean, he's tearing it.
Yeah, he's definitely playing well for the player Hawaiian league.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You kind of gave me a flashback really quick of another striker that we all hold dear.
Yeah.
So Nuno Gomes, what was it about him? What was it?
And don't say the hair. Don't say the hair. Don't say the hair. That you can't use that.
Not just the hair. He's such a nice looking boy. Carazil.
Oh, so cute.
No, he was talented, man. He was talented and he was young. Like I used to watch him and I was like, man, if he can do it, I could do it. Obviously, I can't do it. I'm not a male, but it's okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, we got this like huge community, and through this community, right, we've had a lot of stories, a lot of experiences. You, myself, Alex, everyone's experienced some sort of experience with other fans and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess before the whole the social network, the whole Twitter thing, you're a Benfica fan. What was a moment or memory that you have of Benfica that has stuck with you forever? And not including these trips to New York or to Portugal where you met the fans and it's made the experience that much better. I'm talking before the big, like, meeting of everyone. When was a time in Benfica's history that marked you, that you just always remember and you'll never forget type ordeal?
For recent times, it'd be the Eusebio game when we were 11 Eusebios.
Oh, yes.
Before that, man, it's tough. And I'm just going to chalk it up to mommy brain because I've had 2 kids for a long time now.
Yeah, of course.
Everything kind of mashes together unless it's like super special, Yeah. And I mean, anytime seeing Luizão pick up a trophy, like, oh my God, just breaks your heart, right? Like, oh my God. And
especially not seeing him now on the team, and you think back to the times that, we all talk shit about him. We all did. I mean, he had his fucking problems, whatever, but Luizão, at the end of the day, was Luizão, and not seeing him now, and you start thinking back, it hits a spot. It definitely hits a spot.
Yeah.
I would agree 100%.
It's like watching your brother age, right? What are you doing aging? Stop that.
Seriously, so true. So true. Except he looks good, actually. I ain't going to lie. I think it's because he's bald. All people that are bald always look good when they age. Do they not, or something? Is that a thing? Like Mario looks good. Yeah, I was
he does look good.
Oh, that's good.
He looked like a Chino when I first met him. What a lie! No,
that was the era. That was the era, right? I can only imagine.
Oh my God! And he had a chin strap like a Backstreet Boy. Oh my God!
I think I saw some.
We used to buy gel for his hair.
He had tons of gel.
Yeah.
We even have like the leftover of one because Rui found it and he's like, I'm going to use this. I was like, oh my God, that is so old.
You are not using that. Oh God.
Can you imagine?
So yeah, I saw you showing off your kit there, Cynthia. What was you remember your first kit? You remember your first jersey? Who was it?
Oh no, I don't do names. I'm a huge hater. The only name I have in my footy kits is Ronaldo on the Euro champ because it's got the badge. Mario got Eder, and I couldn't get in my size, so I got stuck with Ronaldo. Stuck with
Ronaldo's a good for the Portugal. Sorry, do you have like a favorite kit? Because I know, Alex, you were going to get onto that next. Sorry.
My favorite one is this black training jersey that I have, and it's I should have brought it down. It's my favorite. There's a few photos I have with it. I think my
training one.
I love it, but it's like charcoal black, so it's a little bit gray black. I love it. It's my favorite. I normally like the training and the goalkeeper kits.
Goalkeeper kits are nice. Actually, there's one we have with the stripes with the one that Timo has. You know which one I'm talking about? Yep. That's a nice one. Our recent ones or whatever. That's a nice
one.
Kit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the one he has now.
Yeah,
now. It's a nice kit.
That's a clean kit.
And it kills me when like sometimes I'll hate them. I'll hate the concept, and then our guys wear it, and I'm like, damn it, Nuno Gomes, why you make that look good?
Fucking. So do you right now? Okay, so yeah, we talked about Nuno Gomes. That's past. That's past. Now, new era. We're talking 2010 and on. Now, who's been your favorite player now? And I don't know who the heck Cintia Mata is on Benfica. I've never seen. I've never seen her play.
That's we got married.
Clause.
Yeah, can you imagine? To be honest, though, my maiden name is Martins, so I loved watching Carlos Martins on there because it was C. Martins. I was like, oh my god! And then he had to go and be a douchebag. Huh?
He's a Sportingista. He used to play for Sparte.
I don't want to talk about it, Dylan. If you
we're gonna get
on the jersey, aren't you gonna get it? Come on.
Yeah, because my last name doesn't exist. No one has my last name. So I would pick up any jersey whoever had my last name.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a Melo for a while now.
See, that's what I'm saying. And this was C. Martins. I was like, that's my name.
yeah, it's a good call. Good call.
But no, this one is because I married Mario, and then I took his name, and then the day after the wedding, we showed up in these jerseys.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it was really cute.
So Pizzi's your favorite player?
The thing is, I always have a soft spot for the 21, but like I love watching Jedson. It broke my heart for Renato to leave because Renat's like my all-time favorite for a while. Like I love that kid. And I know Mario yelled at me about the Bayern game, but I don't care. I love him.
Yeah. Oh, same.
Yeah. And then we got João Felix, looks fantastic. Like honestly, right now.
What do you think? Okay, what do you think of the squad without too much politics?
Yeah.
What do you think about our squad now? What as a fan, what do you think? Do you think we could be better? Do you think we're playing to what we deserve to be playing? Like what's without too much politics, coaches and shit? What's your honest opinion?
We're not playing to our potential. Come on. Come on.
You think we have a good squad to be doing better than what we are now?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. We got some good players, eh?
Yeah, we do.
I noticed Cynthia, like just naming and how you described the players you liked. Nuno Gomes was young, right? Jedson was the first player that you mentioned. As you guys know, that's my guy too. I love Jedson. I think the world of Jedson.
Well, y'all got to think for the younger things, eh? Oh goddamn!
That's what I'm getting at. And that's kind of where I want to structure my question around was these young kids, right? I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, I think it's a matter of just excitement, right? Like you see what these players can be. It's hard not to gravitate towards these younger players on the team, right? I mean, we all know how the Salvius and the Rafa, if you want to count Rafa in there, but we know those guys. We know what to expect from those guys. Do you think you're a fan of these young kids because of the potential, or do you a fan of the young kids from what you've been currently seeing from them, what they're offering the team as of now?
It's a bit of everything, as well as the pride of having seen them in the B team or in the under 20s or under 19s or under 18. You know what I mean? Like just watching footy. And so having BTV and being able to watch, like we were watching, I think like the under 12s. And we were like, is this for real? Because like I think it was like 27-0. And Mario and I looked at each other, we were like, what the shit is this? But there was one kid who was like on fire. And I was like, this kid is being like Bernardo Silva right now. Like do we need to watch for that name? You know what I mean? So when you see them come up, like again, Renat Sanch, you see them come up and then they finally get onto the team, onto the first team, and you're like, oh my God. It's pride, right?
You see him grow up. Right?
Yeah.
It's like you actually were watching them grow up through the ranks.
Because you are.
Because you are. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hard pressed to find. I don't know. I don't follow other teams, right? So I don't know how Real Madrid handles its young kids or how Barcelona handles theirs young kids. But with Benfica, it's so in your face. It's hard not to gravitate towards these young kids, right? They make sure that Benfica B is on TV. They make sure, the English Twitter tweets it out, the results. It's like we always know about these kids.
Especially in the national tournaments, they always show up. There's always like, oh, the starting 11 had 6 Benfica B kids. And you're like, well, I mean, if you're starting for the national of your under 17 and 8, you got to be good, right?
Got it, right. And here's my question about this is do you think, and this is going to be a tough question, do you think that Benfica will be better in, let's say, 5 years than they ever have been? Do you think these kids are staying around? Do you think the regime is going to keep their word, right? You said 5 years. We got a 5-year plan, if I'm not mistaken. Do you think these kids are going to stick around, Cynthia? What are your thoughts on that?
If they do stick around, yeah, we'd be a force. Come on, if they've grown up with each other, like I'm going to think about NHL real quick here. Sorry, I'm going to be Canadian. But I remember the Sedin brothers, and people would trade them together. And there's a reason for that.
The Sedin brothers. Wow.
I'm old.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm
yeah.
old.
No, hell yeah.
So the Sedin brothers, they played together all their careers. There are other brothers, the Stahl brothers, they never played together, right? They were all on separate teams. But the Sedins would go together. And it would be amazing to me. They wouldn't even have to look at each other. They knew where they were. And so these kids, when they're coming up, you learn each other, right? Like that's why sometimes with the national break, I'm like, oh my God, it's obnoxious to me because these are normally they're bigger stars and then they have to be forced together for like what, a week or two, and then they go back to their actual jobs and they go and they play footy with their actual teams, and it's just it's a pain in the ass because I'm like it's not enough.
Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva comes to my mind.
Yeah,
when you say
right?
that. Bernardo Silva, Gonçalo Guedes, but the list goes on and on and on.
Because they don't mesh, right?
He don't mesh. Bernardo, as great as he is, he does do shit for the national team. He does nothing for the national team. So that's a great point. That's my opinion. I wish somebody would tell me it different. I want to hear the argument, but I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. And I think too the reason why it's so easy to like these young kids is because that potential. That I mean, it's almost scary.
It's palpable.
You just see the energy they have. Like we said, just the excitement in their eye. Just you don't see it with the older guys. So. Well, foreign players, I guess I should say.
Exactly, because again, if they're coming up through Benfica, you feel it like we do, and that's what I like.
Who's the one kid then, Cynthia? Who's the one? There has to be better than one, right? João, Jedson, you got Jota. Who's the kid? Who do you think is going to be
the star? Who's going to be the thing? The next
who's going to be the man?
It's got to be Jedson. He's a workhorse. Look at this kid.
You think he's gonna be You think he's gonna be a commanding number 8 in the midfield one day?
Let's hope.
Oh fuck, I know.
And I know this is not my show, but I think what helps though is I know a lot of people were mad about Jardel, the elbow.
I was one of them.
Me too.
But hear me out though. I think a kid like that sees him being protected, right? Your teammates, you stand up for your teammates. Yes, it was a bonehead mistake. Yes, Jardel fucking cost us. We get it. But I think there is a lesson to be learned when you do something like that for a kid like that, because Jetson's always getting thrown around. He's getting kicked in the back, kneed in the back. Like they really roughed this kid up. And I think watching him, the Fages in front of him that's protected him. I've seen Fasia go out for him.
Oh, enough times. Jesus.
But I mean,
even Ruben Diaz, even the back line.
So I agree with you. I think Jedson, I think the type of player he is, I completely agree. He could be definitely something special.
Definitely.
Okay. So I want to jump away from the squad. We've talked about the squad. We've got your opinion on it. I love it. Let's talk about the games. Let's talk, and more importantly, not just any game. I'm talking, Alex, the Sportings, the Portos, the ones that count, the ones that they don't count. But you mean the ones that count, the ones that you're always attentive
that
to.
matter. Yeah.
What do you do? What do you just sit around? You go to a bar. Obviously, you don't go to a bar. But I'm saying if you went to a bar, I don't take you for I
With
mean,
my
the
baby in the
babies,
box.
right? Like, drinks all around. No. Like,
Bottles all around.
what's your routine? What's your ritual? What's your thing?
It depends on what time the game is at because there are many games because I'm an at-home mom. So I've got to pick up Rui at 3:30. 3:30 is when I'm stuck having to leave. So there are times I will miss like the last 10 minutes of the ending of the first, or I'll miss the beginning of the game by just about 20 minutes just because I got to go get the kid from the bus.
Right.
Otherwise, if they're on the weekends, then yeah, we can go out either to Mario's parents' place and like his dad. I tweet out a lot about it because he's like, "You guys, this is a very dangerous move. Don't believe me. Watch this goalie." And I'm like, "Zez, stop!" Like, stop.
And sometimes those old guys are right, man. You know. Sometimes
He says it every
the
time
worst
they touch
when
the
they're mad.
ball.
When they're right, it's the worst when they're right.
It's the worst when they're right because you hear it. You won't stop hearing it all day.
They say it every time, so they got to be right once. Come on.
Never
Oh my God.
happened, but it happened because he said it.
And then it's that Portuguese with the broken English, and you're like, for fuck's sakes, pick a language, buddy. You're annoying me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's how you know it's gonna work.
Oh my
Oh
God.
god. And that's why we do these shows, so we don't have to listen to the old farts. You know what I'm saying?
But they listen. Sorry. Hi.
Oh, that's
But
great.
no, it's either that or we've been able to go out and grandma will take the kids so that we can actually go to like a pub, or we've gone to the Portuguese club with like the Quebecers. Kevin and Lisa were down.
Yeah,
And
shout out
with
to Kevin and
Neil.
Lisa, the great
Yeah.
people. Great people.
Yeah. And Neil from Toronto came down the one time too. And it's just hilarious. Jeff is in our town, so we've been able to, and I know Alex, you met him in Pittsburgh.
Yep, that's my guy right there, man.
Yeah. Yep. And
That's my guy.
so we've been able to catch a few games. We need to catch more, obviously, but whenever it does work out, we try to set it up. It's fun.
Awesome. So, sorry, Alex, do you mind if I jump in? Is that cool?
Please, go ahead.
Cynthia, no, sorry, gonna ask Cynthia. Listen, what was I gonna say? I know last year I didn't know you too well, obviously, but you did do a co-host of a Tiki Taka podcast, I believe it was called at the time.
Yep.
So when did you actually start really following the Portuguese Liga or Benfica itself? You know, when did you actually start following, getting into it, and really fucking stats and shit and arguments and stuff? When did that all happen?
In the early 2000s with Mario. Seriously, he was a Dwint from the start. He was on the Planet Benfica forums.
I remember.
And and I would be sitting beside him and be like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Having a fight with somebody." I'd be like, "What are you doing?" And so like sometimes I remember laughing about people with him, or like he'd be like, "Oh, I'm helping this guy set up his socio, helping this guy." Like Yannick SLB is on Twitter, and he's known Mario for years because of the Planet Benfica forum. Same with Dave and Tom. Tom
Alfredo,
who's written a couple of books.
Guys. Yeah.
Alfredo, Chris, like
all those guys.
We've been able to meet them too, and Sergio too. Like it's hilarious. Like Twitter has definitely facilitated being able to just like at somebody real quick. But I mean, even before that, there were forums. We were communicating.
Which let me ask, Twitter, how has that changed, made your Benfica experience better? How has it made it better?
Or worse?
Or worse, I guess, if there's a negative.
So when the people get into too much anti the coach or for the coach, and then they start throwing, but when they start throwing like, "Oh, you're an idiot if you think that," well, now you've just called me an idiot. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You know what I mean?
When you start getting personal over it, right?
Yeah, that's too much. One thing I do like, which I don't know that everybody else does, I'm friends with a lot of the Sportingistas especially, but there are a few Portistas on my Twitter, I guess too. How do I say that? I have friends on Twitter, sure, whatever. But I have like mutual followers.
I hope they're watching because y'all can't get enough of this. Y'all can't get enough of this.
Josie may watch because Josie's a sweetheart. But
Josie's a good guy. I met him there with you guys out there. He's a nice guy.
He's fantastic. Seriously, like he's
a little.
If you watch the video, I say video. If you watch the movie from Jersey, he's wearing his Providence jersey because he's not going to wear anything.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
But when we score, he stands up and he's just talking to the guy beside him. Like it's in the video, in the play there. I'm like, that's fantastic. He's like, I'm not going to cheer for this shit, but I'll stand. Everybody around me is standing. Like he's such a sweetheart, you know? And and he lost Carey too. Like it's not just a one team thing, right?
Well, he was close. He was also in the area. He knew
Yeah.
who she was too.
Oh
Right?
yeah,
So-
no, yeah, like super friends. So I think for me, I like to hear sometimes I like to hear the other opinions of it because, like,
Mhm.
we can get caught up in our Benfica opinion, but sometimes to hear it from the other teams, like, and especially I'm going to say Portista and Sportingista, when I hear them talking about us, or if I hear their opinion on something and it's not the viewpoint that I see it from, I find it interesting. So,
But even within the fans ourselves, I mean, we got this group. By the way, we got a big WhatsApp group chat. Message any one of us to get in. It's fucking fun. It's more than just Benfica.
Yeah,
It's
we're
more.
not going to be arrested over anything that happens in our WhatsApp.
Yeah, it's
what
good
happens in
shit.
WhatsApp
If you want to
stays in
have if you want to have a laugh, go to bed,
You-
wake up, see 500 messages.
Right. If you want to be a
Join
free man, you can be.
Do it
No-
your day. We don't care. Just come talk
No.
Benfica.
Don't worry about
and
it.
it's all hours because of the time zones. It's all freaking hours.
All
It's out
hours,
of
never
control.
stops. No, but what I wanted to say is that even within our the big Twitter group that we have, big community, a lot of Benficas, we all have our own opinions, and
Yes.
I want to see if you agree with me. It's good to have someone that's sometimes more blue than green all the time. You know what I mean? Like you and I can always be the same, and you can hear someone else have it, and you're like, okay, maybe he's right. You know what I mean? So that also I think is great to have within our community, because sometimes you get caught up in your own thoughts and you start getting ignorant
it's true.
thoughts, right?
It's true. Yeah. Point of view matters, man.
And the reason I asked what's the worst part, right? Because I feel like sometimes I'm Portuguese heritage. I'm Portuguese, right? I love being Portuguese. Just more proud
Caralho.
than anything, right? But sometimes I notice Twitter, when I'm on Twitter, it turns me into a Portuguese fan. And what I mean by that is I'm from California. I'm from the United States. Americans, North Americans, even Canadians, we argue about sports in a totally different way, right?
Mhm.
Portugal, it's like they know too much, right? It's
We act like we know everything.
yeah, when you guys start knowing the right hand on the fucking Luis Felipe guy, like, how do you know this guy's name? Like, who the fuck cares about this fucking piece of shit? I don't understand. I never understand it, right? So usually when North Americans argue, we argue about the game.
And stats. We use stats big time. There's a way.
Facts are facts.
Yeah, He can't play. Why is he playing? Because the coach is shit, right? That's why you hear the same things. Redicate. Do you find yourself sometimes forgetting? You getting caught up in this. I don't know what to even call it. This fucking hodgepodge of fucking
hodgepodge. I'm sure that's on an Oxford dictionary.
It's what I mean. It just feels like too much, right? It feels like too much, right? It takes me away from just being a fan.
Yep.
Right. I don't care about the guy, Vieira's friend, or
exactly.
Who he does business with. I care about the team. What are your thoughts on the Portuguese fans? And I'm not throwing them under the bus. What I just mean, they come from a different place sometimes than we do. Do you find yourself getting caught up in that type of? Because I do. I know I fucking.
Me too. I'm guilty.
Yeah. How about you, Cintia? Do you find yourself getting caught up in these legalities, these things that matter nothing to
know it all bullshit. Yeah.
Yep. Tiki was I was a Benfiquista. It was a Portista, a Sportingista, and then another Benfiquista and myself. And so the two of us, they always said that the two of us picked on them. And I was like, no, man, I don't pick on anybody. I'm just gonna listen to you and then throw it at you when you're wrong about one thing. But like our Portista Bruno, which I also met because he's from Jersey, he brings out like a lawyer. Oh God. And he'll just like, well, this happened. And Luis Vieira used to sell tires back in the 80s.
So like relax, relax,
I don't
bro.
Joint once.
Are we talking about soccer? What's
he
going
one
on?
time took a shit in the Dragão. What? Like I don't know.
He was cheating. It was fraud.
Like it's insane. The problem is that sometimes I do see how these backgrounds could actually affect the refereeing, the high level,
right? Like sometimes it's hard to look past even the bullshit that they make up. Or I get it. I understand. Yeah,
but like I'm telling you, I wish it was just the footy on the field. That's all I want to watch. I don't want to. I don't want all this
And
extra telenovela.
It's sorry to cut you, and that's why I love. And once again, I want to rave again about what we all do. About we have. Oh, by the way, guys, if you don't know, Cynthia is part of a podcast, a YouTube
we're
show.
gonna get her cheap plug in.
Yeah, we call As Aguias, the Eagles. So follow them. But I want to get into it. I want to say
We're changing it to Benfica After Dark. No, we're not.
That's why I love doing these shows. Just because we talk football, and that's what's important when you're a fan of the game. You want to talk about the game. So, to those that have projects, want to continue projects, encourage it, do it. This shit's fun, man. It's awesome interacting with people. It's so many experiences. But I just want to jump one more thing. As you can see, for those of you that obviously haven't noticed yet, Cynthia's got a familiar wall of fucking scarves everywhere. In case you didn't know, again, that is Mario's wife. It's not a random girl that is, using the backdrop. Mario, that is Cynthia's wife. That is his wife, Cynthia. Anyway, I see
found
a bunch.
his keys in the door.
Just walked in. He was bald. I just wanted a good time. I like bald guys. I love you, Cynthia. No, here's my thing. I see a lot of scarves, and obviously, I'm gonna ponder it. What most people would want to know is, have you been to the Luge?
Yes.
If so, yes, of course. Why? What do you love about it? I mean, I know when I went for now this time around that I'm older and seen it, I know my skin, I had fucking goosebumps everywhere. Yeah, it was honestly just a sensational experience. But tell me about yours. Tell me about your first game that you were there, your most recent game, just everything. Just talk, just blabber, just don't stop.
All right. So our first game was the final. Oh my God, I almost said episode. The final jornada against Trofense. Back in the day when Trofense was in the Primeira Liga, and Kike Flores was our coach. I remember David Luiz was on the field, and the reason I remember is because I complained to Mario because he fell down and just sat, and I was like, "Get up off the field." But anyways, so to get to the Luge, I'm from Torres Vedras. That's where I was born. However, the family lives in Vimeiro, which is like 5 minutes away. So we're like 45 minutes away from Lisboa. And my grandpa, I made him go with us. And he was so adamant. He doesn't like footy. He didn't want to go. He doesn't like Lisboa. He doesn't like driving outside of our little area.
Right.
And he's not lying. He's a super grumpy grandpa. Okay. So we go. I force him to go. He ends up yelling at the ref more than any of us. This old man is like,
fan.
He's like, "Here, take my glasses. You need them." I'm like, "Oh my God, Grandpa, calm down." Like, he went insane. Yeah. Mario was having the time of his life because Mario was between us. And Mario's like, "I think he's going to have a heart attack." But he was fine. He made it out, guys. So we're at this game. When we first walk out, so we go through you go through the stands, you walk out, and then I see the pitch. I was like, "Oh my God," my knees got heavy. I was
so
like,
green, so
we're
green.
Here. Oh my God. And red, everything red. And then the green. I was like, "Oh my God." So we sit down. I'm like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And even now I'm getting like jitters thinking about it. The eagle came out, and the eagle does the flight around. I actually taped it for that first game. And I'm like, I can never share this video because it's just me going, "Oh my God, she's beautiful." So beautiful. Like, I'm just such a tourist.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we ended up tying Trofense that game, and we came in like 4th, I think. And everyone in the stands, I don't know where they got them. All of a sudden, everybody had a white handkerchief and just flagging them out and yelling at him to go back to Spain. So that's my first game. It was fantastic because I was with Mario, and it was great. It was great. And then our most recent game was the game in Jersey. So they came out and they played with Juventus before they got Ronaldo. And my last game at the Luge was the year before the Tetras. So the year of the try, Mario and I went, I think. And then Mario
went to the Tetras. That's right. Okay.
But he took our son because I had our daughter. And I was like, "I don't think I can take her." And again, same grandpa, I don't think I can leave him alone with her.
You may become
Who's babysitting
overprotective. Too overprotective.
Well, I don't think it would have been a good thing. She was young and he's too old. Like, who's babysitting who? And it's just not safe at that point, right? So I was like, "Okay, well, I got to stay home." But no, it was super fun to see it. And they sat right up at the front. And when Eliseo did the scooter
Oh
had already
God.
left, and I was like,
Oh,
"Damn
God.
it, Mario, come on!" But
Yeah, I'll miss
you
that
know,
one.
Rui
He's
was
a
over
baby
it.
too. He's a baby, right? So.
Yeah, he was little, but I was like, "That's the best." And so that's Rui's first game is the Tetra. Come
Beauty.
on,
Lucky
what a
lucky
life.
kid. Lucky kid.
Reels.
Lucky
But
kid.
Yeah,
we'd
when he's on the show, he'll have a much better story.
oh
Yeah.
my God, can you imagine?
God damn it! I'll have like gray hair and shit. Yo, what the fuck?
Hey, if you're still talking about Benfica, life is good.
Hey, why not? Right? You're right.
So I got a question for you,
yeah,
Cynthia. We've over the last 40 minutes or so have gone on this journey with you, from the very beginning, right? From the smoke-filled rooms to the
Oh,
Nino
God.
homes to spiky hair Mario to having Rui, all right, daughter now, right? We're along the lines, right? And this is these stories, these events, these things that you remember. They've made you into the Benfiquista you are today. And you and two other ladies
Mhm.
have turned that passion and that fandom into a show, right? What made you guys, right? And I'll be on it, in a world podcast world or Benfica world full of male podcasts,
Full of
testosterone.
the old men smoking in
Testosterone
the
through the
room.
roof.
Yeah, yeah. What made you guys want to, let them know what the girls can do, what the girls can bring, and the point of view and how much they love soccer, right? Because I hope that my daughter essentially loves my team just as much as your father's guys, your father's daughters have, right? So, what made you guys want to? What was the motivation in the show? And say the show. The cheap plug tells the show. We all know, right? But I want you to say it. I want you to tell us what made you guys say, fuck it, let's do it. We're girls, and they're gonna hear us too.
Yeah, and we're gonna
Cheers!
do it.
Cheers!
Yeah.
Just a quick cheers to that. That was a fucking 5-star fucking question for those watching. Take notes. That was beautiful. Continue.
So I was on Tiki Taka. I was there for pretty much a season, and I was doing a lot of the background work. So I was comfortable with the computer part of it. And then as time went on, I started doing like pseudo hosting it. I was a co-host the entire time, but I was pseudo hosting it eventually. And then we lost Carrie. And that was a huge kick in the heart for me. And obviously for Nina and Maz as well. Whether or not it had been like a few years for each of us knowing her, regardless of that, it was like daily talking to her. Like I spoke to her hours before she passed. You know what I mean? Like it's insane. So after she passed, I was on Tiki and I was like, listen, we're going to do a video tribute to her. And that's where I asked anybody who could give me a message and just, we're going to let the daughter have this because the daughter is young, right? Aria was 4 at the time. She's now 5. So I was like, she needs to know that her dad is not biased because he's a Portista. He's not biased. He was with Carrie and Carrie's honestly a sweetheart. So I was like, she needs to know from everybody else that knew her too. Mm-hmm. So that's what the video was about. And then after the video, the girls were super helpful. And Maz actually was the one who said, make it out to Aria. And so she was behind that as well with us. And then I told them, I was like, I'm over it. I'm like, we lost Carrie. She wasn't even 30. You know what I mean? Like that sucks. And I was just like, fuck fear. I'm over it. So I was like, all right, we're going to do this. If you girls are in with me, we're going. We're doing it. Because there's enough boys. Let's bring boobies into the mix without showing them. Sorry, boys.
No, it's us. Please, we know you guys too well. That's
exactly right. I don't want to see my sister. Stop it.
No, thank you.
And it wasn't even just the podcast. Like, and Nina went out and got a huge tattoo on her back of an owl. I actually went out and got myself 2 tattoos, which I had none before. And I even booked Mario's and he got his done after we lost Carrie. I went on a roller coaster because I was like, I'm done with fear. You know what I mean? So what was holding us back? Something stupid. And so, and I mean fear, right? So I was like, girls, let's just fuck fear. We're doing what we want. And Mario and I actually had a trip to Portugal in May. We went to the last game of the season again this year, just the 2 of us this time. And Mario got me to go because why not? And we don't know if we'll be able to see everybody again. So we got to meet Pete. We got to meet Manuel. and Tom, like it was awesome. We got to meet like a bunch of the kids on WhatsApp, you know what I mean, like Diogo and everybody.
A blast, just an
guys,
absolute
like,
blast. I know.
You know, yeah. And then again, the Jersey trip, we had been planning. The Jersey trip was, we were supposed to see Carrie. She was going to do some crazy barbecue, and it was going to be all of us from the area. And because like we like to do a road trip once a summer with the kids and just go, and you know, we've gone to New York, we've gone to like Chicago and Boston and stuff like this. And so we were going to take Rui and Eva and just go. And you know, instead we still visited her, but it wasn't how we wanted to, right? So, and that's why Josie was involved, because Josie's a good friend of all of ours, and he was like, no, we had been planning this, I'm still going. I don't care if it's for Benfica now, I'm still going.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why. Yeah. So if you notice any of our stuff, there's always an owl in the corner, and it's for Carrie, because she pushed us. You know what I mean? She gave us that final stop being afraid of it.
And that flag too. You want to talk about a little bit about that flag? Some people might wonder, and us, you guys always carry around. I think Maz or Mariana has the flag.
Maz has one, yeah, and she made a copy for Patches, the Portista Kevin, and I believe Nina has one too. So the flag
Patches is Carrie's husband. Or Carrie's husband, yeah.
Widow, I guess now.
Widow,
Jesus.
Yeah,
like how awful. But yeah, so Kevin's got one. Kevin has the one that we took to the final game of the season. He has that one. She sent it over with Timo, I believe. And then she has a copy for herself, and I believe a copy for Nina. And so it kind of looks like the logo for the Aguias, because it's the same owl that we used. Yeah. And then she put Carrie on it, and she put the Benfica, the big emblem on it. And I know that Kevin had it on Carrie's casket.
Right.
Yeah, that's and then I believe it's now folded away for Arya, and Arya knows what it is, and he's like explained everything to her, and Arya has a bunch of stuff. We've even sent over one of our scarves from our collection. We had visited San Miguel for a layover for a trip with the kids. Actually, the meet the kids, right? Like here we have kids
right.
on the Tetra trip. So coming back, we had a day of layover in San Miguel, and so we went around, and Mario went up into their office, because that's Mario. Hey, I'm Canadian. I have a collection. I need your scarf. And they're like, hey, you do need our scarf. Come on in, bud.
Yeah, no.
Like,
He's told some awesome stories. He's told some good stories.
He's so ridiculous. So he got this. Okay, first off, we actually got a Santa Clara, and then I believe we got one extra one for someone here that wanted one that hadn't been able to go. And then the guy was so excited when Mario was telling him the story of like, look at all these scarves, la la la, like, because he has it on the phone too. He shows it, and the guy gave him a Santa Clara versus Benfica scarf. And I want to say it was like a 2008 scarf. So they had it on the wall. He took it off the wall and gave it to Mario and was like, you're a fan, and I think this would be great for your collection. So we gave that to her, and Arya has that one folded up too. Because that was her team, right? Santa Clara and Benfica.
It's a great destiny for that flag. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then Kevin actually started a podcast for Santa Clara too. Or not podcast, but like Twitter.
A channel, Twitter
page, yeah. So we'll try to, as a matter of fact, we'll try to put that link in the in our Twitter description, Dylan, if you can.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I will figure it out.
Yeah, throw that in there. That way you guys want support Kevin's page and all that.
Santa Clara, baby. I know there's a lot of Surians out here, so
a lot, like all of them.
That's
about 10-1 ratio. You know what I mean? That's all.
10-1.
So, and we asked everybody this, right? This is how we wrap it up. This is how we start wrapping up this show. We all know what Benfica means to us, right? I know what it means to me. I know what it means to Dylan now because he's told me. I know what it means to Mario. I watch Luis. But what does Benfica mean to Cintia? What does it mean to you? If you could tell the world, tell the 78 viewers that we're gonna get 100 viewers that we're gonna get
the world.
Yeah. What do you want to tell them about Benfica? What do you want them to know?
It's more than a team. Yes, you'll see the team plays on Saturday, but regardless of the team playing on Saturday, I wake up and I talk to my kids about it. My daughter is not even 3 yet and requests Benfica songs on YouTube all the time. You know what I mean? Like when we have our dance sessions, it's Benfica songs.
Oh, I love it.
You know? Yeah. When you guys have babies, you just put the Benfica songs on the belly, and then they come out and they want them.
Oh,
That's how you do it. Start from
I'm gonna wait a little bit. I mean, I feel like I'm not ready for that
Take
kind of
notes.
commitment
I didn't
yet.
say do it today.
Sometimes
Jeez.
my girlfriend starts giving me some job. Relax contigo. Relax. Close
Take
those
it easy.
puppies up. Close them up. Oh
Oh
God.
my Lord. So you're not ready.
No, definitely not.
No, but it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like
It is a lifestyle. That's great. Yeah.
it's this thread, and it's tied us all together. You know what I mean? It's this invisible thread, and it completely goes through your heart. And like, if you've seen the movie that we have on the Aguias, there was this bird, and Kevin said, Lisa, oh my goodness, Carrie comes back in owls, and it didn't look like an owl, but why was there a bird circling the stadium for like 4 or 5 times? And we looked at each other, we're like, what is going on? So that's why we're like, it's got to be her.
At
Obviously,
the game, at the Juventus game in Jersey, for those that.
It's in our. There's a whole movie.
Yeah, guys. There's a
Look
great
at the
40. It's a 45-minute movie. It's guys.
amazing.
When we get this posted up, I'll put it in the description. And I mean, if you haven't heard about it, you're missing out. It's a great. It's a teardropper, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, actually.
You guys did a great job on it.
There's parts. What the fuck? There's parts. The hell? It's not all sad. There's some good shit there too.
Yeah.
There is. When Dylan shows up, hey,
Oh God.
showing up the abs. I don't know what that was.
Abs, bro. I am Portuguese. There's no such thing as abs.
Hey, it's a 6-pack of Pop Six. What do you want?
Guy.
Oh God.
There you go.
Oh Lord.
To be honest, I think that my tattoo means the most to me, because it's my heartbeat turns into my son's heartbeat, turns into the eagle outline, turns into Evie's heartbeat, and then to Mario's heartbeat. And that's what it means to me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And eventually I may get a Te Mujer underneath, but I think that's kind of redundant, because obviously the heartbeat will stop. But
No,
I will not stop being a Benfiquista.
I've thought about getting that same Ate Mujer on my body somewhere.
Yeah. But even then, that's a lie, because
It doesn't matter. It's on your
Benfiquista
skin. I don't
there.
care. It's all good.
Exactly.
While I'm alive, y'all can look at it. Check it out, baby.
Which way to the luge, Dylan? Which way to the luge?
That way. That way to Porto.
That's all you wanted to do all night, isn't it?
I was been waiting for. I told you the drinks. It's the drinks. If it wasn't for the drinks, I wouldn't be doing that.
What is that?
Buddy, this is some.
Oh, it's from Cuba. It's contraband for him. Don't show him that.
I go to Cuba. Oh, oh shit, yeah. Donald Trump might
That's
be on my
contraband.
ass.
It's not contraband anymore. It's okay.
Yeah, bro. It's
Then how come you don't know what it is?
Cuban rum.
I don't drink Cuban rum.
Oh,
It's delicious, actually.
You missing out on a good time, yeah.
You are. That one's actually delicious.
I
We've
drink.
been there wearing this jersey, actually.
I'm a whiskey guy. I'm a whiskey drinker.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, rum.
So, I guess Alex, I want to wrap it up, man. We good? Cynthia, you got anything you want to add? It's your show. You are the star of the
It's
show.
my show. No, it's just Benfica is more than just this emblem. You know what I mean? It's all of us. It's really, and we are a family. So Benfica Familia.
Benfica Familia, Benfica Te Mujer, Benfica for life. I can't agree more. There's no words you can describe what it's like.
No, right? Like, it's just, you're so proud. And it's to the point where it's like, tearjerker. So no, I can't go farther than this.
True. Yeah, so I guess Alex, you want to close it out? I started it. You want to close her up?
For sure, man. For sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly when this video is going to post, but tomorrow is Thanksgiving for us here in America.
Yay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And I'm going to send a special shout on our Twitter feed, on Twitter page, to all of the North Americans and all the Portuguese and Canadians. But I just wanted to say here on this show, I'm thankful for Cintia coming on, being our guest, keeping this show alive. I'm thankful for you, Dylan, for being, my ride or die, man. Mario, I'm thankful for Mario. I'm thankful for the show. I'm thankful for the opportunity to get to speak with all of you Benfiquistas and share the same passion and hear these stories, because they do mean something to us, right? We wouldn't do this if you guys didn't mean anything to us, right? It's not for the fame, not for the glory. We
It's
just
for
want
the
to
money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cashed it. It's already gone. Royalties from Casa Benfica in Toronto. They sent it straight over. So,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, like I said, if it does post tomorrow, I'm thankful for the show. I'm thankful for all you guys. There is a match tomorrow. It's going to be a pain
Roca.
Roca. It's going to be a pain in the ass to watch it.
Yeah, it is.
Because Benfica decide that we don't care about Taça matches. Just they do. So we'll be illegal streaming it somehow. And we'll see about getting a show. I'm down. Do a quick little show. If you guys end up watching it, let me know.
Yep.
We might see you guys sooner than later. And other than that, peace.
And that's it.